Families of Kenyans stranded in Russia appealing for government intervention to secure the return of their loved ones amid growing reports of death, detention and forced recruitments into the Russia-Ukraine war. Some of the Kenyans are reportedly being held as prisoners of war by Ukrainian forces after being captured while fighting on the front lines alongside Russian troops. The Kenyan government states that those involved were irregularly recruited, warning Kenyans to be wary of recruitment scams targeting Kenyans seeking work overseas. Citizen TV's Ben Kirui has more.
Since December last year, when they received the devastating news of the death of their loved one in Russia, this family has been camping at the State Department for Diaspora Affairs offices in Upper Hill, Nairobi, making frequent visits seeking for government intervention to facilitate the repatriation of his remains. The Akin Oscar Gola Ojambo, a former Kenya Defense Forces soldier, left the country in June last year to join the Russian army. Barely a month later, communication with him was abruptly cut off, and the family has not heard from him since.
Akapiga communication amefika. After 1 month, communication ikakatika.
Tukaambiwa kuna commander wa army ya Russia alimtumia message akisema Oscar alituacha.
From then tumekuwa tukijaribu kufuatilia na Ministry of Foreign Affairs na tuone kama venye mwili italetwa.
They are not alone. Reports continue to emerge of other Kenyans believed to have died on the front lines, while some are said to be held captive as prisoners of war. At the same diaspora department offices, another family was also seeking answers after failing to hear from their relative since November last year.
Nimejaribu kutafuta hizo namba alinipatia, hatuwezi mpata. Na tunasikia kuna watu wametoka huko, kuna wengine wamekufa, kuna wengine wametoka hata hawana mguu.
In this case, the circumstances surrounding his recruitment were different. The family says he was lured abroad for what appeared to be a legitimate job opportunity, only to arrive in Russia and be offered a military role. He was reportedly trained for just a month before being deployed to the front lines.
Alikuwa ameambiwa anaenda kufanya kazi ya guarding. Kufika Russia akapelekwa kwa jeshi bila yeye kujua.
Some Kenyans have been irregularly recruited to serve within the context of the ongoing Ukrainian-Russian conflict.
The PS says while the Kenyan government remains committed to protecting its citizens abroad, some Kenyans have been careless, fallen victim to traffickers, cartels and unscrupulous agents.
Unfortunately, I think within the context of this desire on the part of many Kenyans to work abroad, some of them sort of fall victims to unscrupulous groups.
The PS said Kenyans who have found themselves caught up in the conflict and facing difficulties have reached out through official channels, adding that the Kenyan mission in Moscow, working with the government, has managed to repatriate 28 Kenyans since December last year, with efforts ongoing to bring more home.
With respect to Kenyans who have been captured by the government of Ukraine and are being held as prisoners of war, we are in the process of negotiating their release.
Meanwhile, desperate pleas and cries for help shared widely on social media continue to paint a grim picture of irregular recruitment, driven in part by soaring unemployment in the country. The government says it is working closely with the Russian Federation's mission in Nairobi to curb the rising cases of irregular recruitment. Ben Kirui, Citizen TV.